with Gabe, with your host, Gabe.
Hey fans, welcome to episode 6. Good news is Pioneer Vision decided to keep us around for one more week, but unfortunately I just found out that I'm graduating, so I guess this will be the last episode anyways. In this week's episode, we take a trip down to Tampa, interview Barry Melrose and John GwGv6, stop by Players Media Day at the NCAA tournament, and I get roasted by some of my celebrity friends. I hope you enjoy. Alright fans, welcome back to the final episode of Gabbing with Gabe. I'm here with two men who need no introduction, but I'm going to introduce them anyways. On my right is John GwGv6, Sports Center anchor and the founder of Butchie's Overtime Challenge. And to my left is former NHL head coach and basically the face of North American hockey, Barry Melrose.
Wow.
So
I was a big-time player, too.
He was also a big-time
Do
player.
your research, Gabe. When you got your own show, do your research.
He's also modest, fans. So. All right, so we're here. Both of you guys are obviously great ambassadors for the game of hockey in North America. John, can I start with you? What got you so interested in hockey and specifically college hockey? You know, you're very influential growing the game.
Well, when I grew up, there wasn't such a thing as cable television in my early years, and so my dad had to listen to games on the radio. He's a big Boston Bruins fan, and we would listen to games on the radio as I was a kid. I was always at my dad's hip. And that's when you listen to games on the radio, your imagination runs wild, and things become very vivid and interesting. And so hockey had a mythical quality to me, which I immediately took to. And then my first Frozen Four was when I worked in Providence, my last job before ESPN. They had the Frozen Four there, and BU and Chris Jury won. And that's the first I saw these bands and people wearing sweaters outside. I go, this is really cool. That doubleheader Thursday is like my favorite day. One of my favorite days in sports, the Masters and doubleheader Thursday and opening day baseball. And so that was my first introduction to college hockey. And then when we lost NHL hockey at ESPN, then I wanted to get involved with college hockey.
Right.
And it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me in my career.
Awesome. And so obviously you started Butchie's Overtime Challenge, where the winners are given hats and shirts for correctly choosing the overtime winners. I've won a couple times, but never received.
It's a two-step process.
Right.
That started with NHL Tonight. Barry, me, and Ray Ferraro, we would do NHL games in the playoffs.
We'd all pick the overtime.
We'd have to wait for the game to end before the show started. So a game would go to overtime. We'd all throw $1 on the set, pick one guy each team, and then if your guy won, you'd swoop the bucks. If the guy scored and no one had, we'd just put our own $1 back in our pocket. And one day, soon after I joined Twitter, I was like, I should just throw that out there, and and I couldn't believe the response from people. That was just when I was retweeting people at first, and people like to be retweeted on the Twitter.
Of course.
And
can I get a retweet maybe after this? Or?
I'll retweet this episode.
Awesome.
It'll be your most popular episode to date.
Nice. Speaking of the Overtime Challenge, one of my teammates, my roommate for 4 years, one of my best friends, Quentin Shore, he claims that you actually sent him a message asking for an address and what size hat, and then he never got anything. So. Do you have anything to say about that? Or?
I don't have a 7 7/8 hat to fit his head.
Okay, right. He does have a big head.
It's like an orange on a toothpick.
All right, well, Barry, in all seriousness, I grew up a Kings fan. So, I was alive, when you were coaching. when you were
What year were you
coaching the
born?
Kings, 91.
91. You were like 2 years. You were almost walking.
Oh yeah. I remember. I was there. So, like I said, the face of North American hockey here.
That's quite an
I mean, I really think when Americans think hockey, they think about you. They think, 3-piece pinstripe suits, mullets, and cigars, probably. So, is that like a big responsibility for you? Or
That's pretty good life right there. You pretty well nailed everything a man has to have a good life.
Yeah.
And you know what? I guess that is me. That's where I'm going as soon as I do this interview with you, is to find a place to have a cigar.
Okay.
You probably could smoke a cigar, big guy like you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Big time future lawyer. Because nothing says arrogance more than a lawyer with a cigar.
Well, so do you own any GwGv6 apparel? Or?
No, Butchie's never given me anything in my life. Okay. Nothing free.
Is
that because you haven't won, or because it doesn't line up with your style?
Oh, Butchie stuff is nice.
Nice.
I like Butchie stuff. It looks sharp. All the stuff he has. He's got you would never know it by how he dresses, but he is sort of a fashion plate.
Girl crazy about his shirt, that's me.
All right, so Butchie, so you know Grant Arnold came into last year's NCAA tournament with no goals, and you know you
I
kind
don't
of
think he's even had a chance.
We called him Tim Horton.
7-8 games, he hadn't even had a chance. I don't think.
okay.
It was sad. It was
Very openly mocked him. Like, I brought it up, and Barry's like, you played 37 games. How do you have a goal?
Anyways,
offensive
And
to our
and he
goaltender.
scored after we brought it up.
right,
And he pointed to the boot. during the
exactly,
game.
exactly,
Don't let Butchie steal your story.
which was
You're losing control of your show.
which was impressive. So, anyways, as I was saying, my point was that since then, Grant's had a bit of an offensive explosion this year, 13 points. You know, do you take credit for that?
I do.
Arnold score! Shaq got through, redirected, score! Pirlo, ancora Pirlo di testa, tiro, gol!
We call it
that.
the Bucci bump. What's
His
that?
beard exploded.
His beard did explode.
Wow. He's a hairy man right now.
He's a hairy man on the inside.
Yeah.
Apparently.
He looks like a lumberjack from British Columbia.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
Now this, on the other hand, we got to get a little work there.
Yeah,
Dad going to law
I'm
school.
disappointed in myself about it, but you know, that's all I got right now.
Anything else you want to cover before we say goodbye to the most watched
What is this, a half-hour show?
episode of Gabbin' with Gabe?
Usually about 10 minutes, so we're gonna have a lot of editing to do after this.
Edits? This has been gold.
Yeah. All right, we might have to expand.
You don't have to edit
Might have to
yourself.
expand the
You don't
format.
have to edit yourself.
No, I got
Two-part
producers for
series.
that.
Make it a two-part
Yeah,
series.
we'll have a two-part. We'll do, yeah.
So we have to add something for the second part that you can tease, like you won't believe what was said in part 2.
Okay.
So what can we say here? Or what topic do you want to broach? It might be slightly either controversial or maybe racy.
Something about Adam. We can go something about.
How about
All right, we ready in the back? Okay, for last press conference of the day, we're joined by the University of Denver. We have head coach Jim Montgomery, Grant Arnold, Trevor Moore, and Danton Heinen. We'll take questions for the student athletes. If you just raise your hand and state your name and media affiliation, we'll get your questions. We'll start in front.
Thank you. Gabe Levin here from Gavin with Gabe. Just a quick couple questions. What do you think? What are your thoughts on season 5 of Downton Abbey?
Okay, Trevor.
Yeah, I really think it's been unbelievable.
Grant, why don't you take that?
It's been awesome. I think it's improved as the season's gone on.
Okay, this one's for Trevor Moore. Trev, can you please say work as many times as possible in a single sentence?
When we're working, things seem to work. So when we're working hard, our skill kind of takes over. So we just need to make sure we're working hard.
All right, final question. This one's for Coach Montgomery. Monty, how do you respond to your neighbor's accusations that your garage band is just practicing way too loud?
That's just the way we practice.
We talking about practice.
Practice!
The Dean Martin Celebrity Roast, coming to you from the MGM Grand Hotel in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. The glittering city of excitement and laughter provides the scintillating backdrop for tonight's star-studded roast.
Gabe, if you really want to make it in show business, you've got to do certain things. Develop a funny walk, and it's very easy. Put on drip-dry shorts while they're still dripping.
It's rumored that Gabe socializes once a month. He helps Howard Cosell wax his toupee. When I went to school, I had a teacher that looked just like Gabe. She had a mustache, too.
I don't even have a mustache.
Young Gabe, some kind of comment. Discretion, Gabe, prevents me from saying what kind.
Well, I mean, Gabe has the charisma of Earl Butts at an NAACP meeting.
I know a lot about Gabe because we started out together at the Improvisation Catch a Rising Star. And he was always going to the library and taking out books and stuff like that. Whenever I went to the library, I only took out the librarian. And if I kept the librarian out over 2 weeks, they charged me 2 cents a day. But it was worth it, y'all. Lots of people say that Gabe is dull and has no personality at all, and he's lifeless and gets lost in the crowd. And if he was here tonight, I would tell him.
And to the last episode, go.
That's okay, word.
Barry won't get suspended. He won't have to apologize. He has said worst words on the air.
I have apologized too.
One time he was asked by a host, Barry, why did you get a haircut? And he said, I didn't for the show. It just kind of came out. And he apologized and life went on.
Nice.
Honest mistake.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for your time. I think I got to get back.
I thought you'd get back to baking, I thought you'd say.
Oh, well.
You got a cake in the oven.
All right.
Boston cream pie.
And we're out. All right, fans. That's it for episode 6. I want to say a quick thanks to John GwGv6, Barry Melrose, Howard Cosell, Dean Martin, and Billy Crystal, and the rest of my pals in the Celebrity Roast. I've had a great time doing the show, and I hope you've all enjoyed it. Here's a quick montage for you to remember us by. Have a great summer. Hi, fans, and most people watching. Quentin, who's your least favorite roommate and why?
I'd probably say Gabe, you.
I think he's probably kidding. He's kidding. No, but why don't you tell him why you're kidding? Anyways, can you tell us a little bit about your hat collection we got over here?
Yeah, no problem. I'm a big hat guy, as you can see. A lot of options.
A lot of options here.
On tonight's episode.
Have you ever had braces?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
This one. Jared, how's your freshman year going?
It's going well.
It's going well. It's a lively interview so far.
No, it's actually food, like French fries and gravy.